Paris, the city of light, the city of love, a dream destination for millions from around the world. But choose the wrong neighborhood, you might just have a very different kind of experience. In my last video, I took Angela Rose to one such neighborhood.
Caught that on camera just with the drug dealing part.
Yeah, I did see them. It did look like he kind of passed something under his hand, and I was
There was a white package in the plastic cellophane that got passed. This is where they'd be selling cigarettes, drugs.
In this video, we reflect on that experience and also revisit Château Rouge.
I watched your video.
Monsieur? Pardon? No camera? Oh, just being tourist. It's me. Filming me. Okay.
Go like this, you film your... Go like this. Don't film you.
Okay.
And I saw you walk through there, and it was a lot more crowded than I expected it, and so the emotion of actually being here, this is insane. Absolutely.
Other parts of Paris where you see more the French Parisians, the French Parisians will be queuing up in a different manner. Here it's a free-for-all. Yeah.
People with bad intentions really don't like getting a camera pointed at them. As the wandering Englishman exposed in Paris recently, it's like a cross to a vampire.
Their weekly shopping.
Yes, it's forbidden. It's forbidden to...
Hey, hey, but this is Paris. Paris is fine.
The citizen's Turkish woman. Take me my phone.
Okay. But that's Istanbul. That nation used to be called
Yes.
Constantinople.
But it's
It used to be Christian. Now it's Islamic. Here is still a Christian country where freedom of press is still allowed.
Yes, for yourself. There is a lot of pickpockets.
That was kind of scary. Was very intensified. My heart was racing and I was scared at some moments because I did think that they were going to perhaps steal from me just because of how close we were and how crowded it was. And the thing that really scared me is that they seemed to be in agreement about the fact that none of them wanted to be recorded. And so when one person started to say that they didn't want to be recorded, if other people heard that too, it kind of made me worried that they could gang up.
Why are they all looking at me?
Because my subconscious feels that someone else is creating this world. The more you change things, the quicker the projections start to converge on you.
I mean, they didn't. Not really. I mean, they kind of just chased us out or wanted us to get away.
The burqa has been banned in France. It's been banned in Switzerland as well.
But they all wear them, though.
They do. You might notice this. Why no filming? She's just tourist. Just tourist. You know, taking in the culture.
Quoi?
Tourist.
On n'a rien à foutre du tourisme.
Oh,
pas filmer. C'est pas le dessin, c'est pas. Fais pas filmer, c'est pas bon.
But what's the problem?
C'est pas bon. Va filmer à Saint-Gilles. Montparnasse, Sacré-Cœur. C'est pas ici du film.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just a tourist.
He's a tourist.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. The worst thing you could say is if you're a journalist. And there's a reason for this because everything they're doing is entirely illegal.
And so it did kind of scare me because there wasn't really anywhere to go. And so if multiple people started to say, oh, don't record, and we're kind of just standing there with our belongings, you can't run because of just how crowded it was. And I didn't realize how crowded it was. I did know that there was the markets and of course the selling, it's illegal, or I mean, that's very common in many places throughout the world, but I didn't expect it to be so packed in that one spot. Like, it was like a crowd, and it kind of felt like being on a bus.
Well, tell my audience about what you do on your channel.
Yeah, so I started doing political commentary reaction videos.
Shame! 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 Shame!
These people are there to protect their communities, to keep their families and even the protesters safe, and they're yelling shame at them. This is so incredibly rude. We should have more respect for these people who risk their lives to keep us safe. You should offer them water, or the best thing that these people should do is just simply stay out of the way.
And that helps me understand what people are interested in, and so when I see that there's interest in a certain topic, then I can go there, and they call it boots on the ground or journalism. I mean, really, I want to go and see for myself because they're questions I have, and I think other people have them too, and so just going and kind of figuring out what's going on.
Hey guys, it's Angela. I am back here in Denver, Colorado, and they are having what they call an LA to Denver emergency ICE protest around the nation right now. It looks like a civil war.
We see stuff on X, and sometimes people think that's sensationalized, and sometimes it is, but you have to talk to the people there, and it's interesting to hear both sides. Like sometimes people with left opinions or opinions from the right, and they share what they think, and so you do get to hear both sides of the story and just kind of see it for yourself, how different policies or foreign relations are affecting people's day-to-day life, because I think that that's mostly really what matters, you know.
Donald Trump recently said this.
It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about.
After that, the president of South Africa, as well as the United States legacy media, has been denying these claims.
If there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here.
Liar! I traveled across the world to hear for myself the untold stories of Afrikaners and white farmers in South Africa.
Trump is not misled
at all.
He's speaking the truth about South Africa. They can deny it as much as they want to deny it.
Have your political views changed since you started your channel? Have they evolved over time because of all those conversations you're having with people, or were they fairly made up before you started the channel?
I guess a little bit, because, I mean, you become the people that you hang around.
Yeah.
And so you want to obviously consume good content, and I mean, like, my sister and I were talking about this today, like, when you hear people sharing their opinions who are, like, from the left, who would typically, I would disagree with them, and then you, like, spend the day, or you listen to them, or you try to be understanding and stuff, you become empathetic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with them, but I guess that I just have a bigger understanding of not everybody thinks like me.
Zero, Elon. We're sending your company to zero.
Who is going to tell this guy that Elon Musk owns less than 13% of Tesla? 43% of Tesla's stock is owned by the public. So this man simply wants to hurt the American economy because Democrats simply don't care about America.
Not parking next to that thing.
So what?
I don't want to be anywhere near that thing. I don't want to get out near that thing. Oh my gosh, it's right there. That means they're in there.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Ça va, merci, vous?
Oui, ça va bien, merci.
Passez une bonne journée.
Merci, monsieur.
That's cool.
There we go.
I like their hats.
Paris, obviously, since it had the Bataclan massacre, it's had many terrorist attacks throughout all of France. We had the Nice attack, we've had general stabbings, and France has experienced a huge amount of terrorism from predominantly Islamists over the last 2 decades. So since America's experienced 9/11, France has probably experienced more terrorist attacks. And yet, what's strange, it's cities like Paris that seem to be the most liberal. Why do you think that is, despite what they've been through?
Yeah, it's like, how come cities always become liberal, just in general?
Other than the sort of the overcrowdingness of what we saw down in Château Rouge, do you think that ghettoization is good for Paris? And maybe it's a loaded question in the way I asked that. Do you think it's a positive or a negative for what's going on down there? And do you think that Parisians should be worried about what's going on down there?
I don't understand how come people move to a different place to create the place where they left. And I believe that people should have a growth mindset, and usually when you go to a new city, it's like a whole new world of possibilities, and I guess maybe sometimes that journey is different if you go by yourself, but it seems like these people kind of bring like entire communities or their families, that's just kind of everyone, and so it's just, I don't really see much difference, and so I do believe that, I mean, when we talk to the bar owner, it's a bit sad that there's not pubs, or like you were saying, they're not selling as many French things, and this is France. So, you know, I think when you migrate to a country, like for the United States, for example, people do it to have a better life. And so I think that assimilation is important because you're going to that country because you respect it and it's giving you a different opportunity. And so to be a part of that culture is going to help you instead of like just trying to do the same thing. Because then what's really the point? What's the point of leaving?
Absolutely, I absolutely agree. Actually, I did say last question, but one more question because you got me thinking on when we were in the bar, we met the lovely gentleman that looked like Nick Nolte and his wife.
Yeah.
But you obviously speak Spanish, and I could only understand about 20 to 30% of what she said. What was the general crux of what she said when she came out from behind the bar? What was the main takeaway from what she said there? Because he seemed to suggest it's got worse. He was more honest, and in the beginning he didn't want to say that. It's not the same.
It's got the Bronx.
Feels like the Bronx. Okay. The only French person here.
It's me only.
There's no more. No more.
No French here.
He says he's the only French person left here.
Well, she did the same because at first she was like, oh, we love the multiculturalism. We have people in Latin America and just all of like Africa, and like we're all together and like happy. That was pretty much what she said. And then she just got really passionate, so it was kind of a little bit hard to follow everything she was saying because she was talking about, you saw how she was talking, she was saying,
Los musulmanes que eran de Egipto son los que se están metiendo en Francia en el poder, en la policía, en las escuelas, a las niñas pequeñitas así.
She's like not happy with this group, and she said they're like an octopus and they've infiltrated the schools and they're going after the future generations and just the culture and making people speak a certain language or have a certain dress. And yeah, she's very angry about that because her grandkids and her family lives here.
Viven todos, ya quieren poner la ley de la Sharia, que las mujeres nadie puede hablar. Muy terrible la Francia, porque ya no podemos hacer nada.
This is Château Rouge, a neighbourhood where the poetry of Paris has been replaced by noise, tension, and something darker. A quartier where even Parisians pass through in vitesse, which translates to in a hurry. Eyes forward, shoulders tense. There are no croissant chauds here, no accordion songs drifting from cafes. This is an outre-monde, another world. And the last time I brought you here, some were furious that I didn't lie about it. But I don't do polished propaganda, I show what's real. My last video triggered outrage. Some said I was a racist, that I was exaggerating, that I was just exploiting poverty. But let's be honest, these streets are not recognizably French. The native French population here practically vanished. Yes, you'll have the occasional exception, a pensioner clinging to their rent-controlled flat, but overwhelmingly, the district now operates under a different identity, different customs, different language, and different code. Just take a look around. These street vendors selling goods laid on blankets or crates are not licensed. It's illegal. But enforcement? Well, that's a joke. On the rare occasions police are spotted, you'll see a scramble, blankets yanked, crates gathered, and everyone scatters, like a flash mob in reverse, because the rule of law doesn't live here anymore. Only the illusion of it does. Now here's another scene that drew criticism in my last Château Rouge video. This meat, sweating behind foggy glass, unrefrigerated, open in the air. I was told in the comments, this is normal where they come from. You're just being dramatic. But we're not in where they come from. We are in the European Union, and in Europe we have food safety laws for good reason. Culture is not an excuse to abandon hygiene, and defending this as diverse is insulting both to Parisians and to migrants who do try to follow the rules. The smell in this district is constant, a mix of rotting food, pollution and sewage, and yet the authorities clean it daily. But by sundown it's back, not because of lack of funding. but because there is no civic responsibility. What you're seeing isn't poverty, it's indifference. Some people asked why I even bothered to film this. Why didn't you film the Eiffel Tower, they said. Why not film the Arc de Triomphe? That's a more tourist thing. Well, I believe every part of the world should be laid out for the world to see. If I had all of the time in the world, I would probably film every neighborhood in the world. But thankfully, I wasn't the only one paying attention. Paul Joseph Watson, as you saw, featured this very video in 2 of his recent pieces. And I have to say, I thank Paul Joseph Watson for doing the Lord's work for years. He's literally right 9 times out of 10, and for that, I take my hat off to him. If people like him can help bring these truths to a wider audience, then I welcome it, because what's happening here deserves to be seen. It deserves awareness, and if my footage helps more people open their eyes, then it's doing its job. People also said, oh, you're exaggerating, this is just what working class diversity looks like. But diversity isn't supposed to mean domination. When a district no longer reflects the country it belongs to, when the host culture is drowned out, displaced, or told to be quiet, that's not multiculturalism. That is replacement. Let's be clear. No people on earth deserve to be erased. Not the French, not the Afghans, not the Congolese, not the Tibetans. Remember the cause the left embraced back in the 80s and 90s for the Tibetans?
The more I got involved with the Tibetan cause, I just started realizing that the only way a change is going to come about is through spreading awareness, because our government isn't going to take a stand unless they're forced to. Our corporations aren't going to take a stand unless they're forced to. And so the only way that the change is going to come about is through mass public awareness, and the area that I'm able to help out with that is through music.
Funny how they've completely forgot about that now. But when one group is told it deserves decline, they say in the comments again and again that it's karma for colonialism or for history or imagined sins. That's not justice. That is hatred dressed up as virtue. That is literally wanting the Europeans to vanish and to be replaced by everyone else. And you see the consequences of that ideology here in every overflowing bin, in every aggressive street exchange, in every glance over the shoulder. Others called this poverty tourism, that I'm exploiting the struggles of others for views. But I've been to 89 countries and filmed in over half those countries. I've walked through the slums of Asia, seen 8 people living in a shack in Central America. I've witnessed forgotten corners of the Balkans. And I tell you something, nowhere else other than Western Europe have I seen a once great capital so willingly abandoned by its own leaders. This isn't failure, it's policy. The same thing is happening in London as it is happening in Paris. And the police, as I said, you rarely see them here. And when you do, it's not enforcement, it's theatre. Everyone knows the drill. Vendors vanish, arguments pause, and within minutes, the mask slips back on. But nothing really changes. Now, I'm not here to stir hate. I'm here to break the silence. Because this isn't just one district. This is about what happens when a civilization loses confidence, when it forgets how to say no. We're seeing it across Europe now. In France, silence and denial. In Germany, censorship and intimidation.
In Germany we say, das wird man wohl doch mal sagen dürfen. So we are here with crimes of talking, posting on internet, and the people are surprised that this is really illegal to post these kind of words.
That's insane.
They don't think it was illegal?
No, they don't think it was illegal. And they say, no, that's my free speech. And we say, no, yeah, free speech as well, but it is also has its limits.
People like this make a mockery of the freedom of the citizens of their country. Benjamin Franklin once said, whoever would overthrow the liberty of a nation must begin by subduing the freeness of speech. Now don't get me wrong, we've lost freedom of speech in England. I don't think we ever had it, but it's sad to see my German brothers losing theirs as well. And in Spain, they've gone a step further. People are now protesting the right to protest. Let that sink in. Citizens taking to the streets, not for wages or freedom, but simply to beg for the right to speak. How long can this go on? How long can the continent keep suppressing the truth, criminalizing concern, and pretending that the managed decline is some kind of moral victory? We are told to forget, but I will not, and neither should you. Because if this is the future of Europe, then I wish you weren't here. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Really appreciate the support. A big thank you to Angela Rose for collaborating. Also, thank you to Paul Joseph Watson and others that retweeted my content. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.
It's chaos. He's selling water. They're basically being asked to leave. What's interesting is there's no authority around here. Okay.
Go!
No,
What are you doing?
She's a tourist.
I said, hey, I don't want those tourists. Go!
She's a tourist, man.
Why are you filming?
Relax, mate. Relax. You don't have to be on camera.